Good morning.
Good morning. Who do I have?
It's Pete here.
Oh, hi, Pete. How are you, sweetie?
Hi, Florida. How you doing?
Nice and warm.
Seriously. I got my hat. I got my wool hat on.
Oh my goodness. No, I got no sleeves. See? Haha.
Nice.
Yeah,
but were you at an event this weekend?
I was at Sean's. UPW was in Miami, but I was at Sean's the penthouse party that he did. That was really fun.
Wow.
I'm about a 2-hour drive, so got all my stuff done and then drove down and then turned right around at like 3:15 a.m. and drove home.
Wow. That was in Miami?
Yeah, that was in Miami Beach.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Whose penthouse?
Nick Champagne got it, because he does like luxury travel, so he sets up accommodations and stuff, and it's one of the ones that he reps. So it was like a 3-story penthouse with this huge rooftop deck. It was pretty cool.
What?
Yeah, it was like 6,000 square feet. The place was totally really, really cool, right on Miami Beach too. The only drawback is it was super windy, so everything on the roof was flying all over the place.
Right. It's crazy.
Wow, you really are bundled up. Holy shit.
This is nothing. It's actually going to be warmer than it has been today. It's going to be in the 40s.
Yeah. Well, we got a little bit of a cold snap, so it dipped into the upper 60s, right, which is actually quite comfortable walking my dog last night at the full moon.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
If I put in the work now, then maybe in 2020 I'll have more freedom to get down and travel to Miami Beach on a whim.
Well, I just have to drive, so it was easier for me. But I mean, I think the whole premise was the UPW, so you know, we had the majority of the crowd didn't come until after Pitbull was done, which was probably 1 o'clock in the morning.
Huh.
So I
Party
felt,
animals.
oh, yeah, because Sean, you know, Sean and Nick just went full out. So there was a lot of alcohol there. But, you know, there's a lot of us that don't really drink. So, you know,
Right.
it wasn't about that. It was just about getting together. Like, I didn't have anything to drink, but there was plenty there.
Wild.
Hello.
Oh, what's up?
What's up, girl? I dropped in and there was like a ton of energy. Like what was happening? Who wants to like recreate what we were talking about?
What's up,
How are you
Brandon?
doing?
Say again?
Did you get some sleep last night, sweetie?
No. The answer is no.
Oh my God. You didn't go out with everybody, did you?
The answer is yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, it's Miami. Did you go to Mango's or you went to that other place?
No, we didn't go to anywhere like that. You know, it was a great experience. I can't talk. Sean has about 8 hours total in the last 5 days of sleep.
Yeah.
It's like
I can't believe he was still on his feet at 3:30 Saturday night.
Yeah, this is about 8-9 hours total in the last couple days. So Kelly, we're so happy to have you Saturday. Pete, you were missed. Craig, what is happening, bro? We got Craig, Pete. I see we got Tiffany, Michael. We got Chris Young. What's happening, Chris? I see you're unmuted. Does that mean you have the ability to communicate today?
Yes, sir. Good morning. How are you?
Good, man. How was your weekend? What are you present to, man? I love your leadership, so I love your voice to be heard.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm present to all the amazing things that everyone is contributing to. I just love seeing all y'all just taking action and like co-creating like amazing relationships, being all over the country and the world. It's amazing. And I'm super inspired by that. And like, I also like want to contribute and start like leveling up my game, just seeing you all. It's like, it's so inspiring and I appreciate that. And for myself, I just created a goal for next year to actually start helping at-risk teens here in my local city. So I'm just trying to create a group now and hopefully to start getting some friction really soon and start making things happen.
Whoa. Like, dude, that is game on, drop the mic. That is a huge declaration that you are focused on that ecosystem, that you're looking to make a difference in the scale of children. Thank you. I believe you and Craig and Tia and many people in Caban, for example, would have an amazing conversation on how you could impact our future leaders. So game on, man. Love that. Let's see who else. Who's this, Pete?
It's Craig in SoCal.
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on with you? Any wins, any thoughts? How was this weekend for you?
I don't have enough time to tell you all the wins. I'll just say I got to say hi to Sean
Good time.
in Utah, and he was great. I'm just amazed at Sean. Our plane got rerouted coming home from San Diego to Ontario because of fog and all that, and not a big deal. But I'm thinking, man, Sean, I don't know how he does it. I mean, going all over. Sean was great, and I had the privilege of I saw Rob Gilt. We went to Denny's, my son and I, and we're right near BYU. And I thought, man, that guy must be a BYU coach. He had this beanie on and the sweatshirt. And I looked at, I think that's Rob. And it was Rob. So I went over there. Him and John, his friend, I forgot John's last name, they were eating. I said, hey, Rob, can we come eat with you guys? He said, sure. So the next 3 mornings we got to hang out. I kind of hang out with Rob and John. They were fascinated by my son's customs agent stories down on the border.
Whoa.
And anyhow, by the last day, and we were not talking any business. I just love Rob. I love hanging out with him. And so we left with, there's about 1,500 agents down there at the border. And Kelly, Rob's sister-in-law, she was telling how she has, they have a license or whatever, so they can talk to federal agents about their retirements. And the agents call it TSP, which is a bad deal. So anyhow, we left with, I told my son, I said, son, you pursue Rob. This is your ecosystem. You get Rob down there and good things are going to happen. So that's his whole objective right now, is getting Rob together. But the only thing I miss, Sean, I was disappointed in one thing. I wanted more of the Sean Rob hour, because when you guys interact, it is the best. Rob was telling me stories about him and Sean. I just thought, it is the best. I haven't seen that since the Odd Couple with Felix Unger and Oscar. I just thought, man, Sean and Rob, I could listen to them all day long.
Well, thank you. Who was that? I'm sorry. That was just jumping in.
This was Craig in SoCal.
Hey, Craig, how are you?
Fine. I said hi to you after the event. I don't remember, but you did a great job.
Oh, I absolutely did. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate it very much. And I appreciate you being out there. I appreciate everybody jumping on. And it is Mastery Monday. And oh boy, what a 7 days it has been. So good morning. And I certainly want to acknowledge Veterans Day. I want to acknowledge everyone on this call, everyone that you know, everyone in the world that has fought to protect our country from the day it was created through today. And that has been an amazing almost 300 years now, well over, two of history since we have come to these shores and been protecting ourselves from tyranny, oppression, and darkness. And it's, I think, for me, it becomes very easy to forget. We've had a long period of time since we've actually felt threatened, besides in an act of terrorism on our own home soil. And even then, going back to December 7th, there's 1941, there's been very, very few times when our shores have actually felt threatened. And that's because we and our military has done such an unbelievable job for so long protecting this nation. And sometimes for all of us, there can be this sort of ability to forget that there's nations out there and human beings out there, and there has always been, that would want to wipe us off the face of the earth instantaneously if they had the power and capability to do so. And our military, our veterans, are what stands in between those people and that reality coming to be. And I personally have had multiple people in my family fight in World War II. My grandfather, had the same eye condition that I did. In fact, he discovered it in basic training, so he was not able to go overseas, but his brother did. My great uncle Harold, and he was killed in World War II. My great uncle Jimmy was killed in the Battle of the Bulge, and these were times that literally the existence of freedom on the planet was very much in question and in jeopardy. So, however, whatever Veterans Day means for each of us, obviously, is a very personal thing. But I put out there the thought that it is one of our most important holidays, potentially one of our most underappreciated holidays, and it could become really easy in a land of massive abundance and the ability to generate incomes and time freedom and all the things we talk about, more money, less time with more magic, to forget that freedom and safety are not things that we're entitled to. They are not things that everyone on earth, even today, even comes close to experiencing. And throughout human history, the freedom that we have, the safety and security that we have, that is often portrayed by the media as horrible and terrible because somebody tweeted something or somebody said something to somebody else. It is so not something that we can ever take for granted, because so many people today and so many people before us have not experienced anything like that freedom, that magic, that safety and security that we have. So thank you for that, and thank you for everyone, again, on this call, who's ever served in the military, or your family that has, or your friends, or anybody that has. So thanks. So with that said, what do we do with that freedom? You know, what do we do? You know, and when we have a week, like, what do we do with a week? How do we make decisions? What do we say yes to? What do we say no to? When we have the opportunity to, you know, have two things potentially occur, or three or four, and there's some time pressure and time sensitivity, what is it that's going to decide what's going to direct our decision making in terms of our zone action, in terms of our sense of possibility of how to co-create with other people at the most massive levels. And going into last Monday, there was the potential for me, as an example, to make a lot of different decisions. And I faced a lot of conflict. There was my daughter's soccer. There was board meetings that I was on the board of in California for Idea Lab. There was the American Foundation for the Blind board meeting in Silicon Valley. There was Chris Crone, my dear friend, you know, brother and partner, his amazing event in Utah. There was Unleash the Power Within, Tony Robbins in Miami. And, you know, Tony and Sage have become people I care very deeply about, along with all the Platinum and Lion brothers and sisters I have out there. There was Puerto Rico and the Bar Association. And there was a sense and a desire to be at everything. And of course, there was the physical limitation saying, okay, you got to choose one, maybe two of these. And with great effort on our team's part, and a part of that was certainly Tiffany, hustling and working and putting PowerPoints and slides together, but also contacting people and making calls. It was Tom Filatico. It was Teresa. It was Krista. It was Nicole. And it was a whole bunch of others that all worked so hard to make, and by the way, it was the advanced teams like Rob Gill and Epic and, you know, John and, you know, Eddie and Dave and Kelly that all went out to Utah, and, you know, Kristen and Teresa out to Puerto Rico, and Fernando, such an incredible job, along with Darcy and Craig, and just Kelly Hanna, and just such incredible effort, and working, of course, with many others at UPW Miami, so that we can realize that as we grow and as everybody grows, and our leadership does, and our love does, and our influence does, with integrity, we can have transferability, we can have scalability, and we can have the ability to have massive impact in much shorter periods of time. I went to Puerto Rico and landed after speaking at Chris Crone's event. So Friday may have been the craziest day, where Saturday, where we flew into see Chris on Friday morning, I should say, from California on a red eye. Got off the red eye, jumped in a car, and drove almost an hour to his amazing convention center. Spoke for 2.5 hours, as Craig was just mentioning in the beginning. Got off stage and rapidly drove back to the airport and got in a plane and flew from Salt Lake City, Utah to Houston, Texas. Got to Houston, had a couple-hour layover, ate dinner, got back in the plane, flew to Puerto Rico and landed at a little after 6 a.m., then went to the hotel in San Juan, and I hadn't been there for days in an event. Kristen and Teresa had done such an unbelievable job connecting with everyone, overcoming some interesting, you know, dynamics and challenges, being non-attorneys, and a whole schedule being set up that they used all of the results formula. They used all of the integrity-based human influence model, the 4 steps, the 10 indispensable elements, the 4 energies. And they had our room, the room I was speaking in, full and ready. It was the first full room of the entire, I don't know if there was 25 different presentations over the course of the days before I got there. And all these folks had been, you know, in rooms talking to people, you know, doing the best they could to generate interest in what they were saying. I walked into a full room. I was able and blessed through understanding the model, the work that occurred with Tiffany, the support from Nicole flying all over the place, and to deliver in a short period of time, have every bit the impact we could have ever hoped to have. I think we had a massive impact similarly in that limited time in Utah. And by the time we got to UPW Miami, because then after complete and speaking in Puerto Rico, I had about an hour, jumped in the ocean, body surfed for a few minutes, ate a little something, and then flew to UPW. And we landed at UPW, and through the amazing Fernando, Darcy, Craig, Kelly, all of a sudden, and again, other great teammates, all of a sudden we have a party in a penthouse in South Beach, and there's 150 plus people that are in attendance, and lives are touched, incredible things happen, and the party ends at 5:30 in the morning. Get up, and that's into Sunday morning, get up, head to the venue, meet backstage with Jonathan Cohen, Matt Johnston, and Jonathan gets up and delivers, and you'll see it in the WhatsApp if you haven't seen it already, an amazing talk, and edifies not only the work that I've been doing, but the work that many of you have been doing towards January 10, 11, and 12, and literally says January and Unblinded Sales Mastery. Shares that I taught him courage, integrity, leveled him up, co-created him being a better father. His words helped him become a better father, a better husband. Had tears in my eyes, received a standing ovation from whatever the number was, 14,000 people, 15,000 people in that venue. And then went back to the back of the room and had the ability to speak in front of dozens of people, who wanted to take pictures and have their questions answered, just have a hug. And that went on for a couple of hours. And people stepped into their own greatness and transformation and acceleration. And all I could think about during it was I felt gratitude. I couldn't believe that this was my life, and I was blessed and privileged. I also felt that it was remarkable what's possible in a week when we're committed and we find a way, because even the flights weren't aligning and we couldn't find flights, and we had to go back and look for more to make this all reality. But also on this ecosystem merger and mastery Monday, what was so present for me was how little people truly need to want to connect with you, to be grateful for what they receive if we appropriately focus on it, how possible that is, how wonderful it is, how powerful it is for everybody involved, and just how remarkable it is. And just people so desperately, as we say at level 5 in our listening, crave to be seen, to be heard, and to have what they say matters. And how many people cried just sharing for 30 seconds? How many people just wanted a hug? How many people just want to connect with positive energy and be present to it? Because it is just so absent in our world, and people have so much pain and so much suffering that they're encountering. And the gift that you, that we can give to people is extraordinary. It is desperately craved. And so often we, in feeling that we're not good enough, that we're not worthy, that we don't know enough, it is so easy, everybody, to overlook this. So easy. And I was reminded of this in California. I was reminded of it sitting with some of the most successful people in America. I was reminded of it with people with disabilities that were struggling mightily that I met at UPW. I was reminded of it with people with, all kinds of income and experiential disparity in Utah. And I was certainly reminded of it in Puerto Rico as I heard all sorts of different stories from people in the bar association, including people thinking they weren't marketing. And I will tell you this, that every single one of those people was impacted massively by the formula. Everyone. People were impacted at 5 o'clock by the formula. I was in the ocean at about 4 a.m. This morning after a long and unique night with incredible and fun and amazing people. And to a person, everybody wants to say yes. Everybody wants to say yes to you at the core. Everybody wants to connect emotionally. Everybody wants to be listened to deeply. Everybody, once that occurs, they want to share who they are and listen to who you are. And everybody eventually wants to say yes. So it is our opportunity. It is our gift. It is incumbent upon us to see this and to realize it and to learn the formula and deliver on the formula. So not only your voice is heard, but the voice of others is not only heard, but also they are challenged and inspired to step into their greatness. And when that is present, there will be lines of people to talk to you. And it's like, I don't want lines of people to talk to me. Okay. But there'll be lines of people with the desire to talk to somebody just like you immediately, now, and fully present, and to give them the gift of stepping into their greatest life of more money, less time, more magic. And when we do that, everybody wins on so many different levels. So with that said, in that long primer and intro, and we'll wrap relatively on time today, relatively, of course. What's out there for you? Who has any wins to share, questions to ask, what's present for them? You didn't have to be in Puerto Rico, Utah, Southern California, Northern California, New Jersey, or Miami to share or ask questions. But certainly if you did, what's present for you?
Hey, Sean, this is Ben Fox.
All right, I'll go Ben first. What's up, Ben Fox?
Hey, good morning, Sean. I wanted to say it's been an amazing week. I've had Sean Talagi sightings throughout the week. It was very funny. I was at Chris Crome's event in Utah, and people kept saying, "Sean's here? I heard he was here." And so there was a buzz built up. And when he finally got there, it was like Thor's hammer, and everybody was loving it. And I have to say it was especially wonderful for me because I'm from Utah, and I hadn't been home in 5 years. And some people in the room knew that, but I'd like to share the first part of that story. That travel started for me in my life again. Sean, this time last year, when you came out to V-Ray, you invited me to come out to your Christmas party, coming up again in a year. What I didn't tell you at the time, now, is I hadn't traveled for 2 years due to going blind and not having the mobility skills to go out and travel like I used to. And I'm a world traveler. So my point is, and then I'll be done, but thank you so much for doing that for me, sir. But I went with your friends to meet your friends, and I've been going all around the country, and they're traveling with me, and I've never loved traveling more. So I've been noticing that the philosophy of the results formula just attracts good people, and we do good things together. And it's just a pleasure to hear about people doing these things all over the world.
Oh, well, thank you. And Ben Fox, I acknowledge you, love you, brother, and you are amazing, but you bring that same Thor's hammer, that same goddess love, that same aspirational and fun energy, and from a place of such integrity. I'm so grateful for you. And it becomes very easy to drop into wow, thank you, like Sean is great, yay, and I am so appreciative for every kind word. I have a long way to go myself in my own growth and increasing my levels of mastery in many different ways. And I will tell you, Ben, that in service of our team, this community, this family that we're building and growing here, you have made such extraordinary contributions. And I'm going to be announcing one, hopefully tomorrow, that you personally were the source. You are source for it. And the impact it's going to have on everything that we're doing is mind-blowing and extraordinary. And we had a hug and a handshake last night. And let's not share it. You may have an idea, Ben. We'll share more of it tomorrow. But we have a new teammate that is going to help us rock the world and get this message out there, and has every skill, ability, talent, and experience. And it's mind-blowing. And the gravitational pull that's being created here. We had about a 20-person dinner last night in Miami, and a long, fun, crazy night full of laughs and some very silly videos. And I don't know if we did. I think we even did one going in the ocean last night, early this morning, or at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whatever time it was. In fact, I think Craig did. So that'll be circulating as well. But the gravitational pull of all of it is just leading to the expansion of people that are, you know, up to and in service of what we're doing, the love, the gratitude, the energy, the expansion. And I share that as an example of what's possible exactly where you are, exactly at the other end of your telephone, Ben Fox's telephone, Fernando's telephone, Miriam's telephone, Darcy's telephone, Kelly's, at the very end of what Mona is up to, and what Jonathan Cohen and Matt Johnston and Chris Crone and Tony Robbins and all of these amazing folks that in one way or another, a little bit to a medium bit to a lot of bit to completely, that we've merged ecosystems with, like that's what's present incredibly for me, you know, seeing Courtney Epps and hearing, you know, the words of James Preston echoing throughout things that we're doing, and Adam Gugino, and oh my God, Jared Yellen, and, you know, what Pete's up to, and Hudson County, and just absolute insanity. But remember, you are the voice. Like, you are the voice. You are the center of your ecosystem. And while we're merged and overlapping, and it might be, you know, incredibly overlapping, it is you and your voice that matters as much and more than anything. And it's the one thing that we can become completely responsible and accountable for, is how we use it. Our time, our energy, our resources, our money. And I'm completely present to that reality. And Ben, you have been expanding that. You have been attacking that. You have been loving in that and making incredible things happen. And I got off an airplane, and I don't know if I mentioned this to you, Ben, I'm in Utah, and there's a gentleman's like, Sean Gallagher, right? And like Ben Fox said, bop, 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 right? And the gentleman's name is Matt. In Puerto Rico, it was your team, your team, your team. In Miami, I show up, and yes, I provided and did a lot of things to contribute and make it happen. But Nick Champagne is finding the incredible space, and Darcy, Fernando, and, you know, and incredible team, Craig and others are filling space. And all of a sudden, everybody's like, your team, our team. And without that sense of team, without co-creating, which you and I and we and all of us and everybody we know has an equal opportunity and skill set to co-create, what we do with that dictates the dramatic differentials in our money, time, and fulfillment and magic. And owning that on Ecosystem Merger Monday, owning that, appreciating that, respecting that, not only from the sake of what we're doing here together, but what you're creating everywhere in your life and world. Like, let's challenge each other to be present to that. So thank you, Ben. As Ben was jumping in, somebody else was sharing something. Who was out there?
This is Leland speaking.
Hey, Leland.
It was great to see you, and my win was just to be able to connect with everyone this weekend at Chris's event. I got to meet Ben Fox. That was just amazing to have met Ben in person, and I got to meet Craig, and we got to share our goals of what financial freedom looks to us. And it was amazing to hear that he wants to buy property up in the northern states, which is going to be really close to me, so only like 2 hours away. And I got to meet Bronwyn, and she just has a lot of love, energy that I was just grateful to be a part of. And being there, part of the whole event, and just being able to reconnect with people, that was a huge win for me. And being part of these calls is just a new eye opener for me on this, being up here, up early in the morning for being on the west side of the country is my first chance to connect with people, usually first in the morning. I'm usually up before my girlfriend's up, and this is just my first chance. And just realizing that now for myself is just, it kind of gives me goosebumps, and I'm really happy to be part of this. And it's a win just being on these calls.
Well, Leland, thank you, brother. And what a credit to you it is that with the time differential and everything you're up to in the world, that you're here, that you're present, that you're contributing, and that you're taking on your self-mastery, process mastery, and influence mastery at such a high level. So thank you. And, you know, remember, keep spreading that word out there, and let's keep growing and building this incredible community. So thank you, brother. Does anybody have anything else that they would like to ask or share? I am quite confident that there are some missing voices on this call because they were in service of merging ecosystems at 4 a.m. which is like a thing now. So I appreciate that immensely, including Fernando. But is there anything else this morning? Does anybody have a question, thought, comment?
Hey, Sean, it's Chris. How are you?
Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Hey, I just want to say I'm super grateful for the person you are, and like you're so inspiring, and you've like leveled me up so quickly from like where I was. I also want to say, Leland, shout out to you, my man. I've seen your growth like so much from like when we first started. Like I'm just hearing it in your voice, your confidence, like you're just oozing it. So amazing job to you. And then also Ben Fox, thank you for your comment on my Facebook post. I just made a commitment yesterday that I'm going to commit to helping at-risk teens in my local market, Tulsa, Oklahoma, starting next year. Like I'm super excited about that. I know like my self-mastery has been lacking for so long. And like you, Sean, have like just helped me like dial that in. I know it's just the beginning. It's going to be even greater going forward. So I'm super grateful for that. I saw like a Facebook memory from like 6 years ago. I was like, I want to help the youth. And like 6 years later, I haven't done anything. So I'm noticing that. I'm putting it on my time blocking now. And I'm super excited for what 2020 is going to bring for me and my mission and all of us here. So thank you for all
Amazing,
you've done
brother.
for me.
Amazing. Immensely grateful. And if it would be supportive, Chris and Tiffany, if you could make this reality. Kavan Massenberg is somebody that's become, we co-created an amazing future for him at our Christmas party just last year, which I can't believe it's only been a year. And he brought 40 at-risk teens to UPW here in Miami. And wow. It was something to get a standing ovation for in front of 14,000 people. And he's up to big things in the world. And, just as an access point, that might be somebody interesting for you to chat with. So I will.
Yeah, I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, I will provide. So Chris, thanks for jumping in. And does anybody else have anything burning, urgent, beyond just a, sort of a beautiful normal win or question share? If you do, jump in. If not, let's save it for tomorrow. So does anybody have anything burning, urgent right now? All right. Hey, we covered a lot today. Again, let's connect with our veterans. Let's live in gratitude. Let's be present to ecosystem merging and its insane and endless potential, possibility, actualization, realization. And I am grateful for you. And it is my honor. It is my privilege. And let's go forth and rock it out today. And I'll see you and communicate with you more. Thanks. Bye.
This is what it looks like. Yes. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks, Sean.
Have a great day.